Spurs fans, we've been talking so much lately about who we should draft, who we should sign, who we should trade for. And it's like, you know what? I think we're overlooking a lot of the really good things that we got going on with our team right now. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. I hope you had an absolutely awesome weekend. And I was thinking here this morning, thinking about our Spurs, and I was like, I think we're overlooking some of the really good things that happened last season because we had another losing season, a lottery team again. We're focused so much on the future. Let's talk about the good things happening right now. The first thing I want to talk about is Shaolin, Wemby Monk. What are we calling him with this new thing he's doing? Just the alien, or just call him Wemby? He was playing at an MVP level last December. His production dropped in January and February, but we don't know how long that blood clot was affecting him. Clearly, he was tired at points in games and looked fatigued. That probably did not help. Gets shut down at the All-Star break, but when I look at what he was doing in December, when he was in MVP talks, when he was actually, I think, cracked the top 6, he was amazing. In December, 28.5 points per game, 10 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 4.4 blocks on splits of 49, 38, 89. He was the irresistible force and the immovable object. Can he maintain those type of stats over a full season? Maybe not exactly that high, or maybe in his prime, I don't know, but it's certainly not far-fetched to think he can't average over 25, 10, 5, and 4 with those same shooting splits. And the team's, of course, going to get better around him. He hasn't exactly played with the best version of the Spurs his 2 years, so the team's going to get better. And as they get better, he's going to get better. We haven't seen the best Wemby yet. I want you to think about that. We're in year number 2 right here, going into year number 3. And we have not seen the best version of Wemby yet. He's in his early 20s. He keeps growing. I wish he would stop. He's got to be 7'6", 7'7" now. While that does concern me a little bit with the injuries, he's going to have even more of a height advantage now. He already had an incredible height and read advantage. Now he's got even more. Plus, it looks like he's been working out. He looks like he's put a little girth on. So I'm excited to see what a full, unlocked, healthy Wemby can do in the NBA. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So there's that. There's Wemby. Peak Wemby is going to be phenomenal for us. But I think somebody we're looking over a lot, I think it's Darren Fox. I see Spurs fans already wanting to trade him or move on from him. And I'm like, guys, a healthy Darren Fox, this is the previous season with the Kings. Don't forget with us, he was injured all last season. He was actually injured, I believe, in the preseason. And it was an injury to his shooting hand. He had no offseason with the Spurs. And in this prior season, he averaged 26.5 points per game, 4.5 boards, 5.5 assists, led the league in steals at 2 a pop, and shot 47, a respectable 37 from 3, and 74. He was also the clutch player of the year. This guy's talented. Yes, the Kings have been a disappointment, but we have a good point guard here, and I think we're sleeping on that sometimes because we're looking to the future, and not appreciating what we have right now. And what we have right now is injured with no offseason. We never got to see the best version of Darren Fox with the San Antonio Spurs. He's going to have an offseason. He had the injury repaired. We're going to be able to see full Fox next season. I'm excited for that. And by the way, let me just say this, Spurs fans. We paid less for Darren Fox than the Orlando Magic paid for Desmond Bane. It's not to throw shade at Desmond Bane, good player. Sorry, I wouldn't mind having him on the team. Even I have a bigger wingspan than him. But looking at that last night or yesterday, I really don't want the Spurs to make the mistake of overpaying significantly for Kevin Durant or for Giannis. I mean, those were likely out of the running for both of those, but just don't overpay because we've seen this the last couple of years. The trade market is crazy. Mikal Bridges, teams giving up 5 first-round picks for players that aren't franchise players. Then you got the opposite, Luka Doncic. Sorry to keep bringing him up, but he's the one that's going to stand out where somehow the Mavericks didn't get enough for him. So the trade market is all upside down and weird. And at this moment, I don't think I want the Spurs to trade for anybody unless it's a Darren Fox type trade and the Spurs pull off one of those, holy crap, I can't believe they did that. We got a much better bargain than we ever thought we would. I thought we'd give up more for that player, but we gave up what I thought or even less. As we look at the rest of the team, Stefon Castle. Yes, he was inefficient last season, but he was a teenager. Wasn't he 19 last season? That's the worst version of Stefon Castle we're going to see. He's only going to get better. We've seen videos of him working with the guard whisperer with love him or hate him, foul baiter or not, whatever you want, a free throw merchant. The guard whisperer worked with SGA, who is the reigning MVP of the league. And Stefon Castle's working with the guy that helped train him. Jeremy Sohan. I know there's a lot of you that don't want him here. There's a lot of you that do. Let's see what he can do when he's not out of position. No point Sohan next season. No center Sohan. Let him play at the 3 or the 4. And hopefully stay healthy. He's had some injuries that have derailed him the last 2 seasons. But I'd like to see what Jeremy can do for a year not out of position. How about the guy right above me, Devin Vassell? We've talked about a lot, tons about moving on from him. What can we do with him? You know what? You know what I'd really like to see, Spurs fans? What I'd really like to see from Devin this year is for him to show us that he is not only worth that contract extension that he got, but even more than that. Like, wow, we actually underpaid. I'm rooting for Devin. Do I think he's going to be a guy that averages over 20 points per game at this point on the team? Probably not. But when eyes are going to be diverted towards Wemby and Fox and Castle and driving the paint or whatever happened on the court at that time, hopefully that opens up more open shots for him and he has a more efficient year. I'd love to see Devin go for 17 or 18 points per game. Sure, a little bit lower than 2 seasons ago. But his efficiency goes up to maybe 47, 40, and 80 or whatever. So I'd really like to see that from him. Just we sit back and go, man, we were wrong. He's an important cog. We need him on this team. And there's somebody that's not on the thumbnail. How about post-All-Star break Keldon Johnson? Yeah, I know his defense, it is what it is. But post-All-Star break Keldon averaged 15 points per game, just about, 5 rebounds on splits of 53, 34, and 78. Those are 6 man of the year type numbers. Problem is, our guys are inconsistent and can't pull it off all together at one time. I'm hoping next season, team stays healthy, and we can get some more consistency out of our young guys, which has, admittedly, quite frankly, since I've started this channel, inconsistency has been a problem with the Spurs in general. And now that we've talked about some of the players on the roster, don't forget we have picks 2 and 14. And I'm totally on board if we draft Dylan Harper at 2, or if we trade down and get more draft capital, whatever happens, I'm going to be like, yes. And whatever happens at 14, whether it's Carter Bryant, Rasheer Fleming, Cedric Howard, whatever, I'm like, okay, I'm on board, because no matter how many videos I do about who I want the Spurs to trade for, who I want them to draft, don't matter what I want, doesn't matter what you want. Brian Wright and the front office are going to pick who they think is best for the Spurs, and of course, I hope they nail it. No Samatas, no Primos, etc. This team, don't forget last season, Spurs fans, there's not one of you, there's a ton of you. We were 18 and 16. Not a contender, but a playoff team, and then the wheels fell off, but we also started having health issues. Wemby, of course. If this team stays healthy, and this is, of course, an if, there's always ifs, but yeah, I'm going with it. I don't see why we can't be a playoff team next year. At worst, play in between 7 and 10. The Western Conference is stacked. I don't deny that. But I believe in Wemby as a franchise player. I believe in Wemby as being a top 5 player in the NBA over the next decade. And for me to believe that, and I honestly am not saying that with my Spurs brain or heart, this is me as an NBA fan, he has that potential as an elite 2-way player with an all-star, former all-star in Darren Fox, plus other young talent around. There's no reason this shouldn't be a perennial playoff team. The question is, what's it going to take to be a contender? That I don't know. Do I have concerns going to next season, Spurs fans? Yes, of course I do. My biggest concern, honestly, is Mitch Johnson. Made some mistakes last year, rookie coach. I'm skeptical, but I'm going to try to stay positive and hope things work out. The team seems to like him, so we'll go with that. I obviously have concerns with the draft, what Brian Wright does. Can't be Brian wrong. And then we have to address the size and shooting issues, whether it is through the draft or signing a player in free agency. With the trade market being so volatile and out of whack, I think at this point, guys, I'm just like, I'd rather not see us make any trades, because I don't want to see us overpay like other teams have. That's all I got. What do you think? Am I crazy? Are my Spurs goggles on again? Are they way too tight, cutting off the circulation to my brain? You're like, TSR, you're wrong. This team sucks. You're a doofus. Because I do get those comments. You could word a little nicer, but it is what it is. I get it. It's YouTube. I'm going to get trolled. Or do you agree? Like, you know what? Maybe we're in a better position than I thought, but another losing season, the 6th losing season in a row, has me sitting back thinking where things are all doom and gloom, whereas we have a franchise player. Come on. When this channel started, DeMar DeRozan was the guy. Then DeJounte Murray was the guy. Then Keldon Johnson was the guy. Were any of those 3 guys really that a team would want to build around and say, we're winning a championship with that guy? I like all the players I just mentioned. But no, Wemby is that guy. I'm excited for the future. We've had to go through some ish, if you will, the last few seasons. Last 6 seasons, but we're trending in the right direction. And I know we're going to be a playoff team again. I feel like it's going to be next season, and if I'm wrong, damn. That's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful Monday. Until next time, and as always, go Spurs, go. Go Spurs, go. 'Cause the giant